Hey, one more thing before you go. Have you ever wondered what it's like to be stuck in high school for eternity? Or
Oh
how a teen
God.
ghost might solve the mystery of her own disappearance? To find out, you have to join us as we unearth the secrets of a captivating series created by Megan and Nate Trinrud that explores the mysteries in the haunting world of school spirits. Now in its thrilling second season on Paramount Plus. I'm your host, Michael Hurst. I'm here with my lovely wife and co-host, Diane.
Hello.
Welcome to One More
Hello.
Thing Before You Go over the Teacup Sunday with Michael and Diane. Hello, Diane.
Hello, Michael.
I know we're talking about school spirits and why did I do the the what the heck was the name of the show with Audrey Hepburn? Was she teaching her how to speak good English?
Oh, oh God.
It's world famous. It's world
Caitlin,
famous.
Caitlin, Caitlin would hate us right now because it's one of her favorite movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It'll come to me.
Okay,
Oh
Governor, we'll
God.
figure it out later.
Oh God.
You're not supposed to speak that way. Well,
Okay.
I'm excited to be here. I know you're excited to be here. It's,
Mhm.
it's a great day. So for everybody that is listening and watching, thank you very much for listening and watching because we know it's the Super Bowl.
Yeah. Super
We're
Bowl Sunday.
Yeah, Super Bowl Sunday.
Woohoo.
We're excited. You have
Yeah.
your is it you say 1978 Super Bowl
No. 1998.
1998
No.
78.
Yes,
Holy smokes!
1998.
Boy, did I regress way back.
Yeah. Well, I think Denver was in the Super Bowl. I started watching Denver in '77. I want to say that's when they were in the Super Bowl and they
I believe
lost,
they
but
might have been in the Super Bowl
I
then
could be
too.
wrong. I could be
So
wrong. But anyway, they won in '98, and there was another
yes,
year they won, I think,
yes,
like
and then they didn't get the
'99 or
three-peat
something.
because they kind of
No,
lost. But then
they
I
didn't.
think Peyton Manning took them back.
Hmm.
So they've been there
Yeah,
3 times. They just haven't been there 3 times in a row.
in a row, right?
Yeah,
Which the Chiefs are trying for. We'll see.
yes, they are.
I'm not
But
really rude. I don't really. We don't have a dog in the fight, so whatever. But
but we do have a dog in the house,
yeah, we do.
Charlie,
And we're gonna watch the Puppy Bowl.
and we're going to watch Puppy Bowl exactly.
Yeah.
So a little something for everybody. But that's not what we're here for today. We're here for
No.
a absolutely favorite show. And Nicole's going to be mad because we didn't invite her into this conversation. But I'm
Oh
sorry,
shoot,
Nicole.
she's really gonna be mad at us.
She's going to be mad. But I can't
She loves
help.
the show.
Yeah, she really does.
Yeah.
So we'll give it. See, there's an endorsement. There's three endorsements before we get started.
Yeah.
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 Well, I'll tell you, IMDb has it right when they said in school spirits, high school isn't just a phase, it's an eternity. Which back in high school kind of felt that way, I think, just a little
Yes,
bit.
it did. Yes,
At
it did.
times, at times. For
Hmm.
Maddie Nears, a 16-year-old girl who finds herself newly deceased, Split River High becomes an afterlife limbo. Trapped within the school walls, Maddie discovers she's joined by others who have died there over the past 100 years. Unlike her spectral companions, Maddie can still communicate with the living. It's an ability she uses to investigate her own mysterious murder. Or is it murder?
Or is it? Dun dun
Or is it?
dun.
Sounds exciting, doesn't it?
Hmm. It's very
No,
exciting.
it is. Yes, I think that is something that when we first started watching it, we are familiar with one of the stars. Yeah, everybody, anybody that's watched Cobra Kai is familiar
Hmm.
with Peyton List, and she's
Yep.
done a few things after that, which I think are pretty cool, including one where she is a ghost, um,
Hmm.
and
Yeah.
ends up going back, and we won't give the plot away of that
No.
one, but
It
she's
was
another
cute though.
ghost in another show, but it's a cute show,
Hmm.
it's a cute
Hmm.
movie. But
Hmm.
she's an incredible talent. She really is, and
She is.
she kind of shows off her talents here. Um,
Hmm.
it's an amazing storyline, an incredible talented cast, including Peyton List, as we just said, as Maddie Nears, Kristen Ventura as Simon Elroy, Spencer McPherson as Xavier Baxter, Chiaro Pichardo as Nicole Herrera, Milo Mannheim, who we all know
Yes.
from Dancing with the Stars, and he is
And
the son of
Cameron Manheim.
Cameron Manheim.
Yes, but he was
Uh,
also, but he's a huge Disney star.
yeah, yeah, exactly. He was a huge
Yes.
Disney star. That's
Huge
right.
Disney star. Yes, he's awesome.
Yeah,
He's also somebody that is going to be around for a very, very long
for a
time.
long time. He's good. He plays
Love
Wally
him.
Clark, football player. Sarah Yarkin is Rhonda. Nick Pugliese as Charlie. Rainbow Waddell as Claire. Zomer as Zosh. Zuckerman as Mr. Martin. You know, as I said earlier, it was created by Megan Tinrud and Nate Trinrud. They actually created from a graphic novel series and then adapted it
Yeah. Huh.
to the TV
Okay.
series, which, you know, I'm happy for.
Yeah, it doesn't get enough. I don't even know if anybody's really heard of it. Like you don't really see anything about it,
It
and
doesn't
and
get
it's
enough.
really, it doesn't get enough credit. It doesn't get enough advertising. I mean, people need to know about the show. It is fantastic.
Well, we started watching it because obviously we love the paranormal anyway. We love anything
Hmm.
supernatural, paranormal. And when, you know, we first saw the trailer for it, it's like, yeah, we gotta watch this, I think.
I would highly recommend if somebody starts watching the show that you binge watch it. It is a very bingeable show. And
Oh,
the thing is that they come out every week. So I don't know. I almost wish we had saved up this season. I wish we'd saved up and not started watching it yet so that we could just binge it in a weekend because it's so bingeable because it's so hard to wait a week now.
it is. They tease us like that, and I hate when they do that because even when you binge watch it, it's great to binge.
It's
I mean,
great
well,
to
we've talked about
binge.
this before.
Hmm.
It's a double-edged sword because you can
Yeah.
binge everything right off the bat, and you have one long continuous movie. But at
Hmm.
the same time, you're up till 4 or 5 in the morning because you can't get to sleep because you just binge watched a whole damn series.
Yeah. Or
So
you just can't go to bed because you've
you
got to
can't go to
see what
bed.
happens
It's like
next.
I got to see
Right.
what happens. Even though we can stop it and come back and finish watching it,
Yeah.
in our minds and our hearts and our soul is connected to it. We got to say no, 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 no. We have to know what's going to happen next.
Yeah.
In
If we
season
could be
one,
we could be grown-ups and go to bed
who
like
yeah,
normal
who wants
grown-ups,
to
but
do that? Who wants to do that? You know, it's pretty cool. It was introduced in 2023, 2024, 2024. Um,
maybe then, yeah.
yeah.
I don't know.
Anyway,
I was thinking 23, but I don't know.
I thought it was 23 also because there was a huge delay
It's
in it coming
it
out
was
again.
it was a huge delay between season 1 and season 2.
Yeah. But I
So,
mean, you can catch up on it now. So
yeah, yeah.
we'll tell you about at the end of the show where you can find it and everything. But Maddie, you know, she is a teen stuck in the afterlife, as we said earlier. She's investigated her own disappearance, and she goes on a crime-solving mission with the rest of the ghosts that she can see in the high school. And as I said earlier, the 100-year gap, we see different ghosts from different eras and
Errors. Hmm.
periods. There are some that hang around, and there are some that get to move on, kind
Hmm.
of thing. We won't say who and when and where, but
Hmm.
you know, so that you get a diverse. Look, you can't go 100 years in existence without having some kind of ghost somewhere.
I would think. I mean, I mean, we probably have them here.
I'm, I'm.
I'm sure we do. I know we do.
That's true.
Yeah.
But you know, she tries to adjust to high school purgatory, and you know, she's really good about playing a high school student. She does it in
Yeah.
Cobra Kai. We watched her in was 6 or 6 seasons in Cobra Kai, and she's brilliant. Her
Hmm.
character is very diverse. You know, she really brings it when she embodies a character. She brings it, and she does it in this as well.
Yeah, she's really a talent, and I think she's going to be around for a long time. And I think I saw, I'm not sure, but I thought I saw her listed as a producer on this now on School Spirits.
Well, I'm sure because of her clout, the more she does and the more she's doing, that her agents have
Hmm.
probably parlayed it into, you know, she is the show. In the
And good
season
for
one,
her.
think about the cliffhanger on season one. It
Hmm.
absolutely left us hanging on the edge of a cliff. It was the
Yes.
epitome of a cliffhanger.
A cliffhanger, yes. And it was so long to season two. That was killing me.
It is a well put together cast. Everybody works really well together. You can believe,
Hmm. Yeah.
even the cross reference between all the eras that are represented.
Hmm.
You can believe that they absolutely have become friends back
Yeah.
here, and they all band together to help solve the mystery because
Hmm.
there are some things that we won't give away if you have not started binge watching this because
Yeah.
you have to have a Paramount Plus subscription in order to watch it.
Hmm.
Um, you can't see me pointing. This in Italian is
Par
Paramount Plus subscription.
Paramount Plus subscription. Okay. So we're
Yeah,
clear.
yeah, you have to have one in order to see it, but it's well worth it. I mean,
Hmm.
Paramount Plus has got so much more to offer. It really does. But in reality, this is like one of the top-notch things that really are up there,
Hmm.
where we connect with. Even though this is about high school students, we have kind of really embodied it and really kind of enjoy watching it
Love
and
it.
getting into the whole.
Hmm.
Probably because it's a mystery. It's not
Yeah.
just a thing about a bunch of high school. It's got adults as well. It's not just high
I was
school
going to
kids.
say, yeah, it's not just teens,
It's a
but
cross section of a series of adults over the time period as well. And there are adults that pop up from the other eras as well. So what you see is you see a family. This is a family show.
yeah, definitely. Kids could
Absolutely
watch it for
family show.
sure.
Yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Now I'm not sure that I've seen some of the other people within here. I'm sure that they're probably well known with either across the Disney channels or across any of the other Nickelodeons or any of those particular shows, and because you can see they're experienced actors.
Yeah.
Christian Ventura, he absolutely, you can tell he's not a newcomer.
Hmm.
His experience plays out really, really well. He plays Simon,
Hmm.
Maddie's best friend in high school. Elroy Spencer, or excuse me, Spencer McPherson plays Xavier Basker.
Baxter.
Chiara Pichardo plays Nicole Herrera. And then, of course, we talk about Milo Manheim, who
Milo
you
Manhan.
mentioned
Hmm.
that he was a Disney kid anyway.
Hmm.
And we loved him when he got on Dancing with the Stars. I think that's one of the last
Yes.
seasons
He
of
was so
Dancing with the
fun.
Stars we watched, actually.
Yeah, we haven't watched it since then, I don't think.
Yeah,
He was so good. He's so
he,
cute.
he did really, really well. And
Just
he's good
love
at
him.
this in here, too. He plays a
Yeah.
football player from the 80s, and he embodies the football player from the 80s.
Hmm. Hmm.
And they've got a woman there from the 50s
Hmm.
and a teacher there from the 50s, I believe the
Hmm.
50s, or
Yeah,
was she
it
from
was
the
the 50s.
60s? One of them's from the 50s, and then I think the girl's from the 60s.
She might have been from the six. She might be from the 60s. I can't keep them all straight, but
Yeah.
yeah,
And then, you have another guy that they're from the 50s, 60s, 70s, the 80s,
90s.
the 90s.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. See, there's a nice cross reference. And they play their characters really, really well.
Yeah, they're really great. The things that they talk about that they went through when they were alive, um, and how they deal with it in their death, and um, it's a really interesting idea, you know.
I think that we all, at least I know that you and I think the majority of individuals, especially having conversations on one more thing before you go, we all really want to know what's on the other side, what's waiting for us on the other side,
Hmm.
and whether or not we exist on the other side,
Yeah.
whether or not people remember us, whether or not we've left a legacy, or our name, embodied in some form or another.
Hmm.
It just kind of gives us a hint that if this is kind of a little bit what's left on the other side, or if this is all at all possible, every time that
Right.
we're in like even the room that you're in right now, sometimes
Hmm.
the light will turn on all by itself.
It does.
Sometimes it
Yep.
turns off by itself.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know,
And dad passed away in this house, so I just figure it's dad.
exactly. There's little bumps, little noises, little bumps, little things that kind of
Hmm.
pop up, and you kind
And
of go, yeah,
Charlie
yeah.
Charlie will just all of a sudden just stop and just stare at something. Like just he is so focused you can't even get his attention.
The
So I know
the
he's seeing something.
and see, and that's what gets me here too, because a lot of these kids that are in the high school are
Hmm.
carrying on doing some of the things that they were doing before. Nobody
Hmm.
sees them or nobody hears them,
Hmm.
but they can pick things up, they can move things around, that kind of stuff.
Right.
Seems to me that's one little thing, that a little flaw within the whole system, that
Yeah,
in
no,
the show that I
nobody
can see.
sees the objects. Nobody
Nobody
sees
sees
the
the
solid
objects moving
objects.
around.
Right.
Exactly.
Right.
They're
Yeah.
picking them up, they're moving them around, but
Hmm.
we don't see them from from the other student's perspective, like going, "Wow, did you see that?"
Yeah.
Kind of
Like
stuff
when
is
they
on.
even when they open and close a door, and there's other
Oh,
people right
exactly.
there, and they don't. It's
Or
not like nothing.
pick up a piece
It's
of
kind
paper,
of
or
it's
yeah,
weird.
it's kind
Yeah.
of
Yeah.
weird.
Right. The
Like
paper.
there's a
Hmm.
two dimensions.
Yeah. Which maybe that's what they're trying to say, that they're two totally different dimensions that are
Yeah.
intertwined with each other, but they don't exist within each other.
And
I
Maddie's
don't
best
know.
friend Simon. I'm going to give this part away. There's the thing I'm
Okay.
going to give away. So, you know,
Well, it's a major part of it.
it is, but I think by now, hopefully, everybody has seen it. But if you haven't, Simon
Hmm.
is a Native American kid, and he obviously has his beliefs are that they do exist.
Hmm.
Well, he can see Maddie, but he
Hmm.
can't see the other ghost.
Right.
But he can
He
see
can't see the
Maddie.
other, and he can communicate with her as if she's right there. Just,
Yes.
I mean, like there's
Now,
nothing between them.
and they think that that possibility exists. That the reason that can happen is because they had such a close relationship, and that he's also
Hmm.
open to the fact that he
Right.
was devastated, the possibility that and you see it in the you see it in the first
Oh,
few couple
the
episodes, you
first
see where
season.
she
Right.
appears to be murdered, or you
Yeah.
don't know what happens to her. She appears to be murdered.
Yeah.
So
That's what they think.
yeah, so
Hmm.
the cops are trying to figure out where she went, where she disappeared to, why there was blood in certain, down in the boiler room, and in
Hmm.
this kind of a thing. And nobody can seem to solve this mystery, but there's one that starts evolving. And I like the way that they kind of the afterlife has a counseling session.
Yeah.
You know what
I
I
guess
mean?
if you can call it that. Yeah. I guess it kind of, it was a counseling session. Yeah.
For the kids.
About how to, for the kids to deal with their death, and yeah, that's all I'm going to say about it.
Well, and I think that the plot in itself, what an amazing opportunity to really delve this out. I'm really happy that
Hmm.
Paramount Plus picked this up and is doing it,
Yeah.
because what it does is, in you and I mean, look, cop, you work for the legal system as well,
Hmm.
and we've been together for more than 35 years,
Hmm.
and some of the best things, and we've talked about it on this show and some of the other shows, we really enjoy sitting down, watching The Rookie, watching NCIS, watching
Hmm.
different shows, Hawaii Five O when it was on,
Hmm.
the NCIS Los Angeles or New
Hmm.
Orleans, or
Or
anything
Hawaii.
that's got a mystery.
Right. Yep.
We like solving it. We like going
Hmm.
along with it and saying, "Hey, yeah, we figured that out." We have a contest. Who gets to figure it out first?
Yeah, and I've been getting really good.
You have
I've been
been.
figuring out things before you, which is unusual.
You
But
went through.
this, I can't figure out for the life of me.
Well, we didn't at the end of season one, but now
Yeah,
things are starting to fall into place.
a little bit.
Season two, they're
There's
starting to fall into place.
there's some things that are revealed, but then there's that other mystery that pops up, the
Well, and
objects
to be
or
honest,
the
we will give this way too a little bit, but they're stuck there because that's where they died.
right.
So the students that are stuck there because they had died.
They
So
died somewhere on the school
on
property.
campus, so they've got a
Hmm.
limit as to how far that they can go. They have a
Right.
limit that they can only go to a certain extent,
Hmm.
certain area, and they can only be in certain areas. So
Hmm.
that's because that's where they died, and that's where their skull was attached to. So the story and the plot evolves, at least in season one, that really everybody's got a mystery because they died there, but a lot of them are still trying to answer the question why.
Hmm.
They know how, they just
Some
don't
a
know
lot of them know how.
why.
Right. Hmm. Right.
They just don't know why. And then
Right.
season two, now that we're getting into it, they start opening doors and start opening things where they're starting to understand and facing the reality of why they died at school, why they died in a
Hmm.
particular thing. And I think that's
Hmm.
what really, to me, is really intriguing. And I think that the
Yeah.
way that they've developed it from season one to season two, that in
Hmm.
season one, you find out by the end of season one that not only does Maddie have a mystery, but everybody's got a mystery.
Hmm.
And then you kind of go, well,
Yeah.
everybody's got a mystery to solve. They're going,
Yep.
okay, well, I've just kind of put up with the fact that I'm stuck here, but why am I stuck here? Then they kind of,
Hmm.
why are we having all these counseling sessions all the time? And, why am I still stuck here? Which I think is pretty cool.
Right.
So evolving into season two, we're starting to get some of those things answered, I think. And,
Hmm.
it is exciting other than the fact that, we should have waited till they were all out and binge watched them
Yeah. Because
again.
it's hard to wait a week. And then they also introduced the other, the spirit, another kid who died at the school that wasn't in season one, but he'd apparently been there the whole time. But they start
Yeah.
talking to him too. I like him. I like him a lot. He's very cool and just, whatever.
He's the one
This
from
is
the
the way it
70s.
is. Yes.
He's the one from the
He's the one from the
70s.
70s. Hmm.
Yeah, and he's not
Yeah.
required. But and that also pans to a few things, which you'll see, but you're in there and you kind of go, wait a minute. Well, how come nobody sees this happening?
Yeah. That for sure. The stuff around him, it just doesn't make any sense that somebody doesn't
Um,
see it or at least sense stuff's happening in that room.
and
Yeah.
as I said earlier, when you mentioned he's in the season, but he wasn't in the first season,
Hmm.
the absolute brilliance of the cliffhanger in season one, will bring you to season two. I
Oh,
mean,
for sure.
the anticipation of how long it took to bring back season two, you're kind of
Yeah.
going, yes, are we ever going to get that? Are we ever going to understand that? What the hell just happened?
Well, we were so afraid that maybe they weren't going to bring it back, like it was going to be canceled on that cliffhanger. Because, God, I hate when they do that. So many
So many shows
shows,
they've done that too.
yeah, they give you this intense cliffhanger, and then there's
Yeah.
no more show,
And then
and
they
you get
go,
no
oh,
resolution.
we're canceled. You're going,
Uh,
no.
oh, do you not understand? This is going to haunt me the rest of my life. Oh my
Oh,
God.
it's just damn crazy. Do you think
Yeah.
there's a cultural impact? Um, like, how does it resonate with current issues and trends? Or I like how I like how they've integrated students from different eras
Hmm.
because you
Yeah.
get to see that a commonality. We won't talk about it. We'll hope that you, as the audience, will be able to see it. But
Hmm.
what you see is a commonality between um, us as human beings, what a teenager goes through,
Yeah.
the angst,
Yeah.
anxiety, the stress,
Hmm.
the live up to expectations. You get to see that through the eras, through the 50s, the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s. I don't
Yeah. I
understand why
think,
there isn't anybody past the 90s, though.
well, Maddie would be the only
Well,
one.
Maddie, yeah, but I mean,
Yeah.
there's nothing in the true
Well,
child.
and you said it spans 100 years, and that's what it says on IMDb, I guess. But
Yeah, that's what's said on
I
IMDb.
don't think anybody. I don't remember anybody being before the
Well,
50s.
there were a few other ghosts that pop up, um,
Because that one that
like the
the
marching
one that's it.
band, and then
Uh, okay,
there was a
maybe the
couple.
marching band.
Yeah, there was a couple other ones that had shown up that may have
Hmm.
been from an earlier era.
Okay,
They really
they're
wanted to,
just not in it enough, I guess, for
yeah,
me to
they're not
really
enough.
remember. One thing that I think that they could do a little. I mean, that would be more. I think it would be kind of a funny thing, and they've done it a few times, but I think that there'd be so many more opportunities to do this. Is the spirits from way back, you know, and the more recent deaths, and they talk about things like the guy from the 80s would talk about things in the 80s, and the people in the 50s wouldn't know what the hell he's talking about. And I know they've done it a few times,
Yeah.
but I kind of wish they do a little more, because I think there's so much opportunity there to make jokes about that kind of thing, or have the people from the 50s just be like flabbergasted about what
Yeah.
comes out, what we all have in life, you know.
Well, like cell phones. There was the kids walking around with cell phones today.
Hmm.
Somebody in the 50s, we'd be going, holy
Right.
crap.
Well, and
Somebody
that's
in the
the thing
60s,
though.
we'd be doing that. Somebody in the 70s would be doing that, other than Star Trek was introduced within, the late 70s. But,
But that's the
well,
thing. They are seeing this because they see all the kids. They see the kids in present day in the schools. They see them with their phones, but they never really talk about it. They don't say, "Well, what is this about? What is that? Like, how did
yeah.
this happen?" They don't reference any of the
Or
stuff,
the
which
computers,
or the computers, right?
or
That's
the
the one thing
LED
I think
TVs.
they could do a little better of referencing what they're seeing. Like, this is incredible,
You would think
you
so.
know.
Yeah, it's got some great reviews with regard to some of the people and what they're saying. And, they're
Good.
getting, 9 out of 10s, 10 out of 10s, 8 out of 10s.
It's
And,
great.
there's like 116 reviews on there. And then it's still got like
Nice.
a 9 on IMDb, which, we've talked about this before. I don't put too much credence in a lot of actual um, reviews enough for somebody trying to sound like the neighborhood critic.
Hmm.
But in this particular case, you have a multitude of people going, "Yeah, I love this. It was binge worthy," and
Hmm.
the cast is great, and everything they said is fantastic because they all get along so well, and they all have a
Hmm.
vested interest in solving Maddie's mystery as well
Yeah.
as the rest of the mysteries, which I think is kind of pretty
Yeah.
cool in regard to
I,
that.
I I think that there's a lot of so there's a lot having to do with relationships between parents and children,
Yeah.
and there's a lot having to do with between teenagers, the relationships between teenagers,
Yes.
and a lot of the characters really go through different arcs of learning things and changing, and you
Well, you
know,
think they
it,
were a human, that they were in the real world. They weren't ghosts, that they're in the real world. But what you're seeing is, even on the other side, they still have the same humor, angst, anxiety,
hmm. Hmm.
depression, anger, resentment.
Yeah.
They're still going that scope of emotional and mental
Hmm.
and physical aspects of being alive,
Hmm.
which I think is a kind of a unique approach, even in the conversations that I've had
Hmm.
on One More Thing Before You Go, where we're talking about the other side. Never had that
Hmm.
really addressed from that. They say, well, everything's all fine and dandy when you go on the other side. Everything is,
Right.
you get everything you ever wanted, and everybody looks 35 years old. And
Right, which is interesting because we've heard that a lot from different psychics and mediums and things like that. But then that one medium we had that you were talking to, and you had to come get me. I was working, and you were doing an interview, and you stopped the interview and came to get me so that I could go talk to her, because apparently Dad came through to her.
she actually asked for you.
Yeah,
She said, "I
like
have a
by name.
message for your wife,"
Right.
and she said she didn't. I didn't tell you because I never told her your dad's name,
No,
and she
no.
didn't know your maiden name either.
Mm-mm.
And she said, "I have a message for your wife from David,"
Right.
and it was
So,
like,
the thing was is that he was, and I guess this was to confirm or, validate that it was him, but he was mad because they didn't have scotch
yeah, didn't have scotch
on
on
the
the
other
other
side,
side.
or cigars. They didn't have
Yeah,
any cigars or scotch, and he was mad. And I thought, okay, that's the first time I've ever heard that the other side doesn't have, like,
did
everybody's happy and satisfied.
yeah.
But that, kind of, that would be my dad being unhappy
Maybe
about
maybe he
something.
wasn't looking in the right place.
Maybe. I
Maybe he
don't
didn't
know.
go through the right door. Maybe the bar
Oh,
was down the street and not where he
he
was at
just
the moment.
he hadn't explored enough on the other side. I don't know.
But then
Anyway,
again, we also
but
get these people that picture, the painting that, when you go to the other side, you go to heaven, and this is what you
mhm,
experience. You got, you know, butterflies and rainbows and, dancing through the field, and If you're the bad guy, then you go to hell and it's nothing but fire and brimstone.
Right.
But who's to say in reality, each one of us may experience something different when we go to the other side. Each one of
Right.
them, each one of us may go to where we're supposed to go or want to go. Number one, and there's always a purgatory because we know from watching paranormal shows, we've heard it, we have seen it,
Yeah.
we've watched evidence to show that there is a communication between the other side and
Hmm.
here, and that
Hmm.
they're still among us.
Yeah.
So I think this is, to me, it's a brilliant show. You got to watch it. If you love
Yeah.
the
It's.
paranormal, you love the supernatural, you love mysteries, you love
Hmm.
intrigue, you love watching people grow, you like, getting involved. Yeah,
Hmm.
I think it's a series you really need to check out.
It's got a lot to it.
Yeah.
It's very good.
What do you
Yep.
think is
One
going to
of the.
happen? What do
I
you
don't
think?
know.
I mean,
This show. I mean, just when I think I understand what's happening, they throw something else out. So I don't know. I don't. I'm very confused by the whole what's going on in the second season. Um, the objects. That's all I'm going to say. But I'm very confused as to what's happening.
well, there's a mystery
The
within a mystery, and somebody's
Yeah,
messing with the realities of the both sides.
yeah,
And I think
yeah.
because they're messing with the realities of both sides, that's where some of the intrigue is going to continue.
Hmm.
I don't know whether or not it would. I mean, theoretically, why would it go into a third season? But
Oh,
I
don't
guess it
say
could.
that. I want it to.
I want it
Why
to go into
wouldn't
a
you
third
want it?
season. Well,
Okay, I could
because
definitely see it doing that.
I think with all the elements that are in it, and
Hmm.
really the reality of the situation, you have to watch it to be able to see. Because I don't want to give anything away.
Yeah.
But in reality, you kind of go, I don't know how long a person can survive that way in her
Right,
state
right,
without
right,
something deteriorating. So,
right.
if you go on too long, then it may, create more of a conflict or an issue that really you can't resolve, you can't undo.
I can't even imagine, we just finished what, episode four? That was the last one. Um,
Yes, damn it.
I cannot, I just can't even think. I'm, the end of episode four is like crazy. Well, the end of every episode's pretty crazy, but
Yeah, it keeps you
this
hanging, that's
just,
for sure.
I don't even know. I can't even begin to think about what's going to happen. It's so great.
I would say School
I
Spirits
don't know.
absolutely keeps you intrigued each and every episode. It allows you
Yeah.
to get your investigative aspects brewing. It gets you excited. It gets you sad. It gets you anxious. It really, you get
And it's
involved in
got,
these characters' lives to a point where you're kind of going, I'm vested in this outcome as well. I really want to see what's going to happen because I'm cheering for certain people, certain entities to get closure and to get fixed
mhm.
and this kind of a thing. So, from my thing, if it goes into a third season, it goes into a third season. And who knows?
uh, please.
They can take it
Yeah.
off in a different direction after that because in reality, we
Hmm.
see that there is the potential to be able to have communication with the other side to get problem solved,
Hmm.
which I think is kind of
Yep.
cool.
Yep. I think that there's also humor. Don't think it's all just supernatural, paranormal mystery. There's humor in it too.
Yeah.
I mean,
Humor,
there's some funny lines that make me crack up.
there's drama, there's
Um,
love,
yeah.
there's comedy, there's love, there's comedy, there's anger, there's you're going to run the gamut too
Hmm.
of emotions as well, I think.
Yeah. It's got
I think, I
everything.
think. School Spirits is available, as I said earlier, to stream on Paramount Plus. We are not an affiliate, so if I'm telling you
Mm-mm.
they should go to Paramount Plus, it's worth the investment, even if just for this show alone. But they got a lot of other good stuff on there as well. New
They do.
episodes of season two released, and they're every Thursday, so we have to wait every Thursday, which we need to call Paramount and talk to them about that. How to watch it. You can sign up for Paramount Plus online at ParamountPlus.com. You can also sign up for Paramount Plus on mobile devices using Paramount Plus apps for iOS and Android. You can watch Paramount in so many streaming devices like we do on Apple TV, Android TV, Fire Stick TV, Roku, blah, 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 blah.
All of them.
You can watch the first season and you can catch up on the second season,
Hmm.
I think.
Or
And
just
it's,
wait until second season's complete and then binge them both.
yes,
Yes.
absolutely, 100%.
Hmm.
I think you should. Either way, 100%. So,
Yep.
hey, do you have a, I know we're planning for this. We're planning for it. We are planning. Other than the Super Bowl, what kind of day is today?
Okay. Other than the Super Bowl, but it's interesting that the Super Bowl landed on the same day as National Pizza Day.
Yes.
Yes.
And what do we have out on the patio? A pizza oven.
Pizza oven.
What's one of my
So,
favorite things to cook? Pizza.
homemade pizza. Yes. So
So
we're going to go and do that.
we're going to do pizza and then
Hmm.
we're going to, get ready for the Super Bowl. We're going to watch the Super Bowl commercials, which we
Yes.
just caught up on some of the ones that they just showed on CBS
Hmm.
um, for some of the best over the years, of
The
which,
funniest.
yes, and of the
Hmm.
two that were nominated for the top two over the past number of years, one of
Hmm.
them we know very close friend of the family, and unfortunately he passed away, and so did his
Hmm.
son, the kid that you see in the commercial.
Yeah.
Um, but yeah,
Passed away 2 years
we got
ago.
to see it again, but
Yeah.
we're looking forward to it.
Yep. And the Puppy Bowl. Don't forget
Puppy
about
Bowl.
the Puppy Bowl.
One more thing before you all go. Have a great day. Have a great weekend, and thank you for being part of the One More Thing Before You Go community.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of One More Thing Before You Go. Check out our website at beforeyougopodcast.com. You can find us as well as subscribe to the program and rate us on your favorite podcast listening platform.